Hello, this is Hello Canvas. Today is the first part of the Zbrush basic course for those who are new to Zbrush. This is the understanding and manipulation practice of the interface. If Zbrush feels unfamiliar and difficult, this lecture will be of great help to you. Now, what is Zbrush? Zbrush is a program called Digital Sculpting and Digital Sculpting. It is not a typical 3D modeling, but it can be seen as a tool that creates shapes by freely pressing, cutting, and pushing like clay. So emotional expressions, organic design, for example, character face, monster. It is really strong in detailed expression like decorations. It is often used when creating game character, movies, CG figure, prototype, etc. What we will learn today can be seen as a first step to digital sculpture. This time, we will learn about the basic structure of the interface. If you open Zbrush first, you can see what appears like this. This window on the side is called Lightbox here. You can click on a basic shape and take it out and work on it, or you can create a new lightbox and work on it. I'll close it again, and if you look here, you will see this big space. This part refers to the workspace called the canvas, which can be seen as a space where we will sculpt. There is a top bar called a top menu bar right above. Here the main menus, such as basic brushes, tool, stroke, are located on the right. There is a part called the tool palette, which is the most important part in ZBrush. This is where the model is loaded and the surface tool is managed. Here the surf tool can be seen as a layer fill for each part. On the left is the brush. This is the area. As you can see here, there is a UI that says standard. Here, I will make something like this. And when I press edit, it becomes active immediately. If you click, there are a lot of brushes like this. You can see it as a tool that can sculpt in various forms. Right below is the alpha literally. Feels like the texture of the sculpture. If you look here, there are many types of alphas like this. Next, the material. There is a material called material, and if you click here, it looks like this. You can see that the material is changing. There is a color palette called color setting right below. If you adjust it like this, you can see the color changing. Do you remember the light box that we opened just now? You can click on the light box like this, but if you press the new key, it will open the same way with the short key. This can be seen a library window that easily loads, exemplifies brushes, etc. So as I mentioned earlier, it can be opened and closed with the comma key. You can hear a tip here. It is very important to get used to the interface by clicking a lot. This time, let's learn a basic operation method, which is the most confusing part. First, we will learn how to operate the view together. Rotation is a rotation. As you can see, I took out an object. Do you remember this area called the canvas? You can check the rotation by clicking on this area and moving it back and forth like this. Next is zoom. Zoom here is the Alt key, press and click. Then release the Alt key if you keep dragging left and right. You can see that it moves away and get closer, and so on. Next, move it. To move, press an Alt key and click on the canvas, but don't release it. If you go back and forth in that state, you can see that it is moving second. It's learn about how to manipulate object. If you look at the top, you can see edit mode here. Edit mode can be activated by pressing T as a short key. You must press it to sculpt. If you do not press it, a situation will appear in 2D. If you have followed this far, you can really start sculpting this time. First, let's practice simple sculpting with the brush. First, it is basic brush. The basic brush is standard and is called a standard brush. As a shortcut key here, press B first and the abbreviation for brush is B. Next is S, which is an abbreviation for standard. Then all brushes that start with SR like this, it will appear. Next is S followed by T. Then press T and it will be set to standard. If you click and paint like this here, you can feel the feeling of the raising the clay. Next is the intensity control. The intensity control is called G intensity, and if you look at it, there is a G intensity at the top. The shortcut key is 6. If you turn it all the way to the right from here, you can make it very strong and make it weak like this. It won't show up so well that it won't be noticeable. So we usually do it. You set it to a medium level like this, and then you adjust its size. The size adjustment is called size, and the shortcut key is S. When you press S, the size appear, and you can right away make it larger and smaller. When you make it larger, the red circle gets bigger, and when you make it smaller, it gets smaller, of course. You can adjust it by going back and forth at the top as well, but it is too inconvenient to go back and forth like this while working. So it is very common to press the S key is just like right here. You have the advantage of being able to quickly adjust the brush size. Next is sharpening. For sharpening, press the Alt key here, click and paint like this. You can see that the first surface is shaped like this. If you made it this far, the last thing is a smooth key. Smooth is used to smooth out and smooth out on 2D surface evenly. This is done by pressing a shift key and painting like this. And you can see that the surface is smooth as a whole. The tip I want to give here is as if you were using your hand. If you think of it as if you are touching clay, you will get better today. We try the brushes Interface the most basic operation and even simple sculpting practice. It may be difficult to operation at first, but if you keep doing it, you will soon get used to it. In the next lecture, we will practice creating basic shapes with more diverse brushes. You will have a real fun while making a simple face or character base. If the video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and set up notifications. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you.